Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It's Friday, the 24th of February. This is our weekly recap. If you want to join us, link in the description below. Let's talk about this week. It's not been the most fun or easy week. Last week, we were holding on to levels by a thread. We closed back above the 21-day last Friday, giving hope to the bulls and to me and others that we would be okay. We would hold this area and hold 400. Fast forward, we were off on Monday, Tuesday. We opened on a big gap down, sold off, closed under 400, thereby breaking all the levels of support and basically saying, it's time to be tactical and be out of longs. So we came down here, we danced around for the last couple of days, we gapped down again today on multiple days in a row here of just very, very just bad data. We're getting, the idea that inflation is not going away. And that's pretty much true. PCE this morning was a hot number. It was a little cooler in some respects than expected. In other areas, it was much stronger than expected. Inflation went like this and this big ramp up, and everybody kind of expects it to do this big come down like this. But instead, what we're probably likely to get is a move up and down like this with inflation. And, it's not probably going to come down here in a straight line. And I think that's what everybody's hoping here for, is that inflation is just going to come down in a straight line. And we're just not likely to get that. The Fed is talking very hawkish. They're looking at this saying we need to raise more. We need to make rates higher than we thought previously. So the only thing I'll keep saying is we have another whole round of data before the Fed meets again in just under 4 weeks. So, take that into consideration here, and things can change. That said, it's definitely a risk-off environment. Right now, with about 30 minutes to go, we're right at the 50-day on the SPY. You can see I've outlined different levels here. So first of all, here's the downtrend we could not break back above. Here's your 3% pullback. Here's your 5% pullback. Here's your 10% pullback. Right now, we're in a pullback. We're a little over 5%. We're trying to reclaim the 50-day into the close, and we held above the 200-day. Next week, there's very little data. There's not much in the way of data that's going to rock the market. I don't know about Fed speak. So the market's going to have to find its footing or its weakness on its own. And the one thing I can say is this: they're not in a rush to break this market. We've seen this game before. We saw this all last year. We're not getting these big down moves. Everything is bought back. Everything is chopped back up or chopped back down because they don't want to break the market. If they wanted to break the market, this would have been game over. We would have come crashing down. People were saying we're going to get a 150-point move today. Well, we didn't get a 150-point move today. The market came down and came back up, and you can just scan, look at the 5-minute chart. Yesterday we had this big V bounce on the markets, right? You can see the big V on the 5. We were weak today. Here's your PCE number. We came down. We put a low in around 11 o'clock, and then we rallied, came back in, made a higher low, and here we are pushing up. And this market, if one thing, is resilient. So I still suspect that there's a lot of buying coming into this market underneath the covers of funds and stuff that are not heavily exposed. They're trying to get exposure down here. That doesn't mean we can't go lower. We can't hold the 200-day, then it starts to get really ugly. We get back down to these January areas before, to the December highs here where we were. But for now, we're trying to push up here at the end of the day, and we'll see. Oscillators here, we have nice signals developing on these. That's good to see. What was good this week? There was a lot of things to trade this week. We were all over the place this week. Meta gave a couple little trades here and there. We had nice trades on Coin on earnings, although it didn't do much. Traded Etsy off earnings. Again, didn't hold, but gave great prayers. Same thing with Square. Had a great trade. Look at this coming back today. And this is the tomfoolery that's going on in this market. They had a good report. And what did they do? Let's sell it off. Let's get everybody out and then bring it back. And this is what we're seeing a lot in this market right now is, they move things down, they bring it back, or they move things up and then bring them down. NVIDIA had a great report. We traded this multiple times, after hours, multiple times yesterday, holding the gap by the skin of its teeth. It still looks good. Tesla has their event next week. Again, look at the relative strength of this chart versus the market. It's holding in just fine. Overall, there's names that are still acting better in this market. And then there's names that you just not. TTD, look at that move back down, gave that whole move back down, is filling that gap. Airbnb, the same thing, giving that move back, filled that gap. Roblex, right? You get the idea on a lot of these names. DraftKings here also, look at this. Well, nope, not that report wasn't so good. Same thing with Palantir. So there are definitely names they want and they don't. The ones they want, they're holding in. Analyst day or investor day on March 1st for Tesla. There's a lot of angst going to that event. We're supposed to get some information on their new platform, which is supposed to be stronger, better, cheaper. And we're supposed to get how there's going to be free energy or cheap energy or clean energy for the world. We'll find that out then. I don't know. This is the hype that Elon's put on it. I often find these events when he hypes the hell out of them like this are a sell the news event. Whatever they announce on there, it sounds great and it sounds remarkable, but it's either never going to happen or years away. And it's a hype event. But that said, I think there's an opportunity to trade that into that event next week. So with that said here, without trying to take up way too much of your time, because I've talked a lot already, I'm going to wish you guys a wonderful weekend. I'll probably do charts quickly on Sunday morning. I have a lot going on this weekend, so it may not be a full chart session this week. And with that, I'm going to wish you guys a wonderful weekend. Again, if you want to join us, smartoptiontrading.com, a link in the description below. And with that, I'll see you guys in the room on Monday morning.